My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. You definitely want to get the take of a person who was called by the Washington Post the unofficial scribe of Sanders's most hardcore voters. Yes, that's what they called me. And the Huffington Post called me the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, who is now a Trump supporter. Why am I a Trump supporter? Exactly because of what President Trump is doing right now. He's telling the intelligence community to take a hike. It's a very good thing. This nauseating, repulsive reverence of people who have billion-dollar budgets, who constantly get everything wrong. I mean, get something right. Get something right. Predict something. They not only do they get everything wrong, but they don't even predict anything. Then you have people, don't even get me started. President Trump's bringing home Americans from two theaters of conflict. President Trump is presiding over a peace between North and South Korea. Where were the wonderful intelligence agents and officials under President Obama, who I believe spent $500 million funding 5 rebels? Look that up. Why don't you let's look it up right now really quickly. It just came to my mind. So he clowned his intelligence chiefs, which is fantastic. He told them to go back to school. Why is that not a beautiful thing? People say, how can H.A. Goodman go from a Bernie supporter to... Yeah, well, that's a beautiful thing. That's why I loved Bernie, past tense, because I wanted him to bring home Americans. He said he would. The Pentagon wasted $500 million training rebels in a country whose capital city is Damascus. I have to just speak in that way because of YouTube algorithm policies. I want to be 100% okay. 500 million, huh? That's pretty good for 5 rebels. Was it 5? Yeah, 5 rebels. Eventually, the Pentagon wasted 500. Okay, so wait. Hold on. Time magazine. Obama administration will end $500 million, you know the country, rebel training program. Defense officials say the Obama administration will end the program to train and equip rebels in the fight. Okay. The New York Times reports the program, which cost $500 million, has not been found to be effective. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe they should have spent $200 billion. I believe it's about... Eventually, it was just 5 people. Something... I have to get that. Okay, hold on 1 second. So, 4 or 5... The news that the Obama administration has spent $500 million to put 4 or 5 fighters on the ground. All right. So, wow, so great that President Obama listened to his intelligence chiefs. That's fantastic. Okay, now you have Chuck Schumer and all the Democrats. You should really listen to the intelligence community. Then when Kavanaugh got his 20,000th FBI investigation into nonsense, I'm sorry, an allegation without witnesses, without a location. Other than that, it's fantastic. They're like, oh, well, the FBI wasn't thorough enough. So the same people they love, when it's Strzok and Page and Comey and Andrew McCabe and James Baker, all these people are under criminal investigation. Suddenly, when it didn't work for them, and it won't be working for them from here until 2020, you have William Barr, you have Senate Judiciary with Lindsey Graham, with a new email probe. It ain't working. It ain't going to work for them. But you want a president to tell the intelligence community to take a hike. JFK did that he didn't do that with the Bay of Pigs, and then he got burned. And then he did that with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Curtis LeMay and his other his intelligence chiefs, in addition to generals, were saying, yeah, you should go ahead and attack Cuba. And if he did that, we know from Castro was interviewed. Oh, no. Robert McNamara stated, and Castro also stated, that he would have immediately asked for Khrushchev and the Soviets to retaliate with nuclear weapons. Immediately, if there was any airstrike against Cuba. Okay, JFK was right. This is the record, the public record. His people, his advisors, go ahead and attack Cuba. And he said no. So JFK was right. Trump is right to tell the intelligence chiefs, the same chiefs who were saying, oh yeah, Russia. They're just looking out for their budgets. And the thing is, I just gave you one example. There's like a million examples. $500 million for rubbish and nonsense. Okay, $500 million down the drain. Almost certainly funneled someplace. Trump needs intervention on intelligence, Schumer writes in letter to Coates. Who cares what either Dan Coates, the director of national intelligence, the predecessor was James Clapper. These are all people who have their own interests in mind. Intelligence, the way intelligence works, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's not the intelligence that formulates the policy. It's policies that are formulated by civilians, by the president's administration or a political party, and then they utilize the intelligence to back up whatever they want. So Baby Bush, George W., the biggest imbecile in the history of mankind, he had that already. And then they utilized the intelligence. He had the policy goal, policy objective. Then he utilized the intelligence. Then we got into two horrendous quagmires. Then Obama utilized his fantastic intelligence. He was so smart, amazing. And then he destroyed a nation in North Africa. And other countries helped foment turmoil in Latin American countries as well. And Honduras is one example. Okay, Berta Cáceres lost her life. And she blamed Hillary Clinton's foreign policy decisions. Anyway, we can go on forever. I'm trying to speak in terms of YouTube policies and the algorithm. I think I'm doing an okay job, actually. But I mean, if I could go, and that's why I can't really if I can do segments that talk about why Trump would be 100% justified to declare a national emergency for the wall funding. And if I were free, or if you could, as a content creator, get into the actual gory, horrific, heinous atrocities that take place, you could do that. That's why when Trump, because I believe he will declare a national emergency, when he does, there's not going to be a court that's going to strike that down, because these atrocities are taking place all the time at that location. Anyway, this reverence, this false, this false worship of these intelligence chiefs, they want Americans there forever. They want Americans overseas forever in theaters of conflict. We've already had 20 years of war. You cannot do that to a nation, and especially the warriors of this country need to be home with their families. You cannot send Americans to fight the battles, literally, of other nations for 20 years. And if those countries cannot fight their own battles, well, then, sorry, I don't want to be... The power vacuum was created from the wonderful intelligence community. Here we go. From the wonderful intelligence community that told Baby Bush, the imbecile, to set the Middle East ablaze. So... it's like, well, Trump's not listening to the intelligence community. Good. Thank God. That's why I'm wearing this "Make America Great Again." I like the Hodge twins. Make America Great Again. I love that. Make America Great Again. So, The Hodge twins are awesome. They're awesome. But you want a president. That's why I loved Bernie Sanders. That's why I wrote 100 articles that went viral in The Hill, The Huffington Post, and Salon. That's why I'm very proud that The Washington Post called me the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters. That's why I'm very proud. I typed my name into Twitter, still to this day, and people are disparaging. They're disparaging other journalists and other people by comparing them to me. So people on the left are saying, "Oh yeah, this is another H.A. Goodman. Oh yeah, this is a H.A. Goodman disciple or whatever." They're still like using my name in vain, which is hilarious. I want the left to dislike me, even though I haven't really done anything to be disliked, to be for them to dislike me. I've only told the truth, which is why my articles went viral. Bernie Sanders would have won the election had Democrats not cheated him. Thank God Trump won, because even Bernie now is against the withdrawal of troops. He's like, well, it has to be done in an orderly manner. There's never going to be an orderly enough manner. Okay? Ever, 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 ever. We would still be in Vietnam with that mentality. There's never going to be an orderly enough. We'd still be in Beirut. Reagan did a very intelligent thing, leaving right after a horrendous tragedy. So, and then you get this like, oh my God, Joe Scarborough, like I think one of his tweets, like, oh yeah, surrender, retreat. Yes, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, John Wayne or, the new, John Wayne's awesome, but like, Joe Scarborough thinks he's like the big tough guy. So go, don't send Americans off to fight IEDs and insurgents. Go Scarborough, just go. Leave MSNBC and fight for the country. You don't want to do that. You want to have other people away from their families. And when Trump brings them home to their families, you say, oh my God, this is so horrible. How dare Trump do this? Oh my God. President Trump is the greatest president of my lifetime. I'll debate anyone on that with a huge platform. But a million times better than Obama, who spent $500 million for like 5 people. Because the intelligence community said that. The Enron people were also the smartest people in the room. That was the documentary. Or that book. Bernie Madoff was really smart. Yeah. Clinton's actually very intelligent in a conniving, manipulative, insidious way. Both of them. Bill's smarter, a lot smarter, but both of them are very intelligent. That doesn't mean you could be intelligent and evil at the same time. Or a lot of criminals are very intelligent. The Clintons prove that. But this kind of like, oh my God, he's, we can't have Trump not listen to the same people who were wrong about every cataclysmic event and who failed to predict every cataclysmic event. Literally, if I say certain events, that's it, a big problem. What have they predicted? When have you heard that an intelligence chief get on the TV and say, this is going to happen, be safe, be careful? Or even predict what's going to take place around the world? Arab Spring, they had no clue. They don't know, fall of the... They didn't even know that communism would fall. They don't know anything. They're just there. They pay off people in other countries, fine. And they have counterintelligence officials like Peter Strzok, who are basically, Debbie Wasserman Schultz in the FBI. They've completely weaponized and politicized the intelligence agencies that shouldn't even care. Now you have like John O'Brien and all these people James Clapper, who hate Trump. It's like, when have you ever seen this in U.S. history? And only one person, ladies and gentlemen, could have endured this in modern times. Only one person, and that's Trump. Bernie Sanders would have been completely obliterated, just run over, creamed by all of these people. He folded in like a nanosecond. He's like, I'm taking it to a contested convention. Okay, I'm done. Fine. No problem. Less than 1 nanosecond of a nanosecond. That's when people are like, oh, he's mathematically... I love these people. H.A. Goodman was saying he was going to win when he was mathematically... it was impossible mathematically. Mathematically, the whole thing was rigged. It's like, if there's a basketball game or a football game or whatever, and like the score is actually rigged, and like the players throw the game, and then you're worried about one team not being able to come back in the fourth quarter. The game was completely thrown. So you're not... Bernie Sanders was never mathematically unable to win. He never had a chance to begin with. I didn't know that. Nobody did. Bernie probably didn't either. If it was fair, he would have won. And he should have, and if he really cared, he said he was going to have a contested convention. After July 5th, or July 6th, it was pretty much, there was no chance. So I never said he was going to win after that. Because James Comey said, although there's evidence of statutes being broken, okay. But the point is, whatever. The left loves to lose and then blame Russia and then foment outrage and then funnel all the left's outrage back into the Democratic Party, no matter what. This is like you said, the same pundits out there who are like, I'm really down fighting the oligarchy. I'm voting for Jill Stein, but if you're in swing states, vote for Clinton, okay? Okay, yeah. Anyway, hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very much. It's very good that Trump is telling the intelligence agencies to take a hike, to shove it. It's very good. You don't want a president who is so intelligent that he destroys an African nation, like Obama did. And now there's slave auctions in that nation. These intelligence community is so amazing. Oh my God, we should give them even more billions. It's like they have over $35 billion for 3 of the intelligence agencies. You give them all the money, even more money. Give them raises. Tell them to be quiet. These people are too much a part of American society now, and they're constantly wrong, and they're constantly fomenting. They're like an extension of the Democratic Party. But, if you learn from history, what happened to the Praetorian Guard in Roman times? What happens to any mercenary? Praetorian Guard. Their allegiances go to the highest bidder. When you try to placate, or when you try to bribe people who only exist to amass as much power as they can. If you try to utilize them for your own purposes, they'll only people like James Comey or Clapper or Brennan, they're only going to be on your side if it's politically or financially expedient. Once Trump completely takes the reins from the Democratic Party, it's game, set, match. The writing's on the wall regarding that also. You have William Barr, a new attorney general, who isn't like horrific like Sessions, and you have the Senate Judiciary Committee, and who knows what else happens. But it's going to be a good year. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very, very much. Check out HA's Second Amendment, and check out my RT segment. That was a great one about AOC. Thank you.